Thank you all. Well, before I get started, I wrote some remarks that I usually don't do, but I knew I had to for this. I would love for every black male in here to make their way up front as we do this. Right? Because this is not just about us, but it is about us. I need every black male to start making their way up front, please. Can I get you over here, brother? Okay. So as Jason said, I am a father of 3 young black men who could have easily been Trayvon. I'm an uncle to 11 young black men who could easily be Trayvon. And I myself, and all of us up here could have easily been Trayvon at any day, right? So for us to make change, and one of my boys told me when they knew I was coming to do this speak was, it's good to do this rally, but if we don't work to make change happen, then we did this all in vain, right? And that's not why we're here today, right? And you know, as this has been going on, there's been all kinds of emotions going on in my head, right? And it's been hard to have conversations about it. It's been hard to think about it. But we've got to, and I'm so glad to see all of you all here saying that we no longer are going to let this happen to our young black boys or any of our kids. So I'm going to read my remarks, and hopefully this hits somebody. So first I want to thank every last one of you all for your love and your support of Trayvon Martin and his family. This is the kind of love and support that all of our kids need to feel each and every day as they make their way on to school or wherever they're going. This is the kind of love and support that communities need to put behind every single kid that we have so that they know we got their back, right? I also want to thank everybody for sporting their hoodies, right? But this is really not why Trayvon was killed. We know he was not murdered because he was wearing a hoodie. Trayvon was murdered because of his race, right? And Trayvon was murdered because of the systems that we have allowed to be created in this community, in this world, that devalue young black men, right? He was not murdered by what he had on. And he was not murdered for what he had in his pockets. Skittles and iced tea did not get him murdered, right? That's not what killed this young black man, right? It is the system that we have allowed to be created that has taken him away, right? We, all of us, have done a terrible job at protecting our young children, especially our young black boys. We have allowed, like I said, for this country to create systems that discount their value and create a story that we are all to be feared, right? Every black man is to be feared, not loved, not seen, but feared. But today, we are creating some new laws, right? We are creating laws called Stand Our Ground. Not stand your ground, these are our grounds, right? And we are creating laws against the systems and the people that have hurt our children for way too long. With over 50% of our young black boys not graduating college, we must stand our ground against an educational system that refuses to give our young black boys the education they deserve. When black boys have a 1 in 3 chance of going to prison, we must stand our ground against the juvenile system that held our young black boys for minor infractions that other kids are slapped on the wrist for. That's right. With the majority of our young black boys been raised in a household by moms, we must stand our ground against every black man who, for whatever the reason, is not around to protect and encourage their kids. Nobody gets a pass anymore, right? So this is all of our issue, right? With all the stories that we hear in the media of how negative, all the negative stories we hear in about black boys in the media, we must stand our ground against the media that is determined to only show one side of the story when it comes to our black boys. That's right. And lastly, today, we must stand our ground against all of the stereotypes that we carry in our heads that we have allowed to live in our heads that have determined the fate of our young black boys. So with your presence here today, that tells me and the world that you are making a commitment to protect every child, especially our black boys. We will no longer let anyone discourage them, discount them, hurt them, or forget them. We will stand our ground and create a better future for all of our children. Thank you all.
Give it up for Mr. Smith. Give it up for all of our fine black men.